probably die in my bed one day, and I don't want my son to find me. I feel like I've done enough damage to him that would be the final straw. When I look in the mirror, I see a monster. I see someone who's hideous. I don't resemble a human form.
Not every journey ends with victory. Some crash in spectacular fashion. From missed goals to explosive confrontations, these stories spiraled out of control. They're the moments that left Dr. Now frustrated and fans heartbroken. These are the most dramatic failures in my 600-pound life history. Pauline is in a living nightmare. She's trapped in a body that won't even let her reach behind and wipe herself. Imagine the humiliation, the helplessness. The only reason she's even alive right now is because her niece does the dirty work for her. Literally, without that girl, Pauline would be rotting in that bed. And that's not an exaggeration. That's just the reality she's chosen.
It's hard when you see how you're hurting people you love, but you can't stop making the choices that hurt them.
I am absolutely trapped in this body. I've let myself get way out of control.
Just walking out the front door, something most people do without thinking, would be a miracle for Pauline. Not a small win, a miracle. That's how far gone she is. Her body's breaking down, her life is on pause, and yet she's still eating like nothing's wrong. It's like she can see the fire coming but won't stop pouring gasoline. That's how deep this addiction runs.
Control. And I feel like I'm dying every day. I can't even move without help. I can feed myself.
She lays in that bed like it's a coffin she's still decorating. No movement, no purpose, just eating and sleeping in endless rotation. She knows it's killing her, knows it's disgusting, but it's the only thing that gives her comfort. That's how broken things are. But now she's clinging to the hope that Dr. Now will fix what she won't. Good luck with that.
I do feel bad for Dylan, just because it seems like he hasn't had much of a life. Even with me, he's very closed off and doesn't really speak his mind very much. It's not a healthy relationship because it's not a mother-son relationship.
Even on the drive to the hospital, a moment that should scream wake-up call. Pauline just can't stop shoving food into her mouth. Burgers, fries, whatever she can reach. Her excuse? There's nothing healthy on the road. Yeah, well, that doesn't explain eating like it's your last meal on Earth. This isn't hunger, it's sabotage. She's ruining her own chances before they even begin.
This is a gamble because we've never met, and I have no idea if he'll help me or not. But we have to do it if I'm gonna lose the weight. He is my last hope. I am ready for this trip to be over.
Do you want some beef jerky, baby? I want to eat some too.
Dr. Now is done playing games. Pauline's son keeps enabling her, and Dr. Now doesn't sugarcoat it. He gives her a target weight straight up. Either hit it or forget surgery. And what's her response? More whining. If Dr. Now refuses to operate, what's she gonna do? Chase him down? Please. She can't even chase a remote. This is life or death, and she still doesn't get it.
I'm going full force ahead, and I will do this. So today, I get to meet Dr. Now. Hopefully he will find me healthy enough that I could have surgery.
She swears she's serious now, says she wants to live, says she's ready, but words don't matter, not anymore. If she wants to prove it, she's got to lose real weight in a matter of months. Not water weight, not excuses, actual effort. And while Pauline says she can do it, we've seen how this plays out. She talks big, but will she show up?
So you already know the solution, you already know the answer, you already know the problem, but you have no control over it. Pauline doesn't see her own responsibility in her current situation. So the question is, if she even want to change right now.
She doesn't. Surprise, surprise. Pauline can't get it together, and Dr. Now has had enough. He admits her into the hospital because clearly she's not going to lose anything unless someone forces her. That's what it's come to, locking her down so she doesn't eat herself to death. And you can tell, it's not the weight that's the real issue, it's the mind. It always is.
Months. I've been really anxious to get approved. Push it, baby. Okay. I really feel like I want to pass out already. It's gonna be bad having to walk to the scale.
Finally, she drops 44 pounds in the hospital. Not bad. Dr. Now gives her the green light for surgery. She goes under the knife and everything goes smoothly. But when it's time to walk, time to rebuild her life, nothing. She won't do it. Surgery gave her a tool, not a solution. And Pauline, she wants the results, not the work. That's her downfall.
To do this. I know that I can do this on my own, and there are times I feel like I'm being pushed a little too hard.
It's pretty good. I haven't had chicken for a while.
Dr. Now is fed up. He's done everything humanly possible. Gave her tools, time, surgery, chances, and still, she won't move. She even argues with him like he owes her something. It's embarrassing. He sees it all the time. Patients who want change without effort. Pauline isn't special. She's just another person who thought the knife would save her without lifting a finger afterward.
Pauline is used to be in control of everyone and her situation.
Stay close, honey.
She's not responding.
Her attitude stinks. Dr. Now calls it out without blinking. At home, she's the same old Pauline. No walking, no effort, no improvement. It's crystal clear now. The only time she lost weight was when the hospital controlled every bite. Left to her own devices, she folds. This isn't transformation, it's babysitting, and it's exhausting for everyone around her.
No matter how much we help, turning around her life is up to her. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
That's how Pauline's story ends. She got the surgery, sure, but not the change. The weight might drop a little, but the mindset, still heavy, still stuck. She never learned how to fight for her own life. And in the end, that's what this journey is really about. Not just cutting fat, but cutting the excuses. And Pauline couldn't do either.
You always have certain excuses,
Because
but
it's
none
true,
of them
it's
make
not
any
an
sense.
excuse. I'm not trying to skip the program or, not listen to your rules. I'm not.
Most of the time, people don't realize how deep the damage runs until it's almost too late. Ashley R's story is a prime example. She spent years feeding a craving that was slowly killing her, stuffing herself with junk food while ignoring the silent screams of her body. Her life spiraled into chaos and pain, and before she knew it, she was in a state that could have easily cost her everything, including her life. Her journey into darkness began just like that.
I thought I would have my white picket fence, I'd have kids, but my life is nothing like that. It's a nightmare. My entire body is in constant pain. I'm completely miserable. It's a struggle to just move at this weight.
Can you imagine living every single day in tears? That was Ashley R's reality. There wasn't a single day she didn't cry over her body. Every task, no matter how small, turned into a mountain she couldn't climb without help. Her independence was gone, her dignity fading fast. That level of hopelessness, that level of emotional exhaustion, nobody deserves that.
I cry in the shower because it's just painful. It is painful sitting there. It is painful holding myself up. It is painful when my mom scrubs my back.
It's really hard for Ashley to take a shower. I have to help her because if I'm not there, she has to ask her husband to do it. And she doesn't want to do that.
You don't want to be in Ashley's shoes, not for a second. What makes it even worse is that the signs were there from the beginning. When she was just a little girl, her parents noticed something strange. She was always the chubby kid in class. The others ran, played, and lived carefree. But Ashley, she stood out, and not in a good way.
In the class. But I always assume it's baby fat. It's gonna go away.
Back in the days, we didn't think that was something wrong with Ashley. We thought that was just part of life, that she was healthy. And she was just loved to it. We never thought that was gonna be a problem.
And just when you think things can't get any darker, boom, her own uncle traumatized her in ways that broke her spirit. The pain didn't stop there though. When she met her husband, he didn't care about her weight at first, but over time, their marriage began to strain under the pressure of her size and her helplessness.
What I really loved about her was her sense of humor, her charisma, her eyes.
We did things, it was like a normal couple, but each year I gaining more weight, so we had to stop our outings, we had to stop.
At first, he played the role of a supportive husband, but then it turned into something else entirely. He was cooking, cleaning, bathing her, helping her do everything, and I mean everything. At that point, it didn't even feel like a marriage anymore. It felt like a job he never applied for. And what was Ashley doing while he carried the weight of it all? Eating, still eating. And this is what she had to say about that.
Eating, I feel numb, and it's better than feeling stressed. Every time I get out of the car, my stomach is so large that it presses on the horn.
Of course she hated her body. How could she not? But hate alone wasn't going to change her situation. Thankfully, she mustered up enough courage to go see Dr. Now. But even before she stepped foot in that office, you could see the fear in her eyes. She already knew what was coming. And trust me, it wasn't going to be sugar-coated.
So what seems to be biggest challenge with your eating habit?
I'm usually just snacking all day long
So why are you doing that?
because I'm hungry. I know I shouldn't eat like I do, but in everything I eat, I feel so guilty about eating it.
Dr. Now laid it all out like a sledgehammer to the soul. If she didn't stop eating the way she wasn't going to see 40. It was that serious. But guess what? She didn't let that scare her into silence. She let it light a fire under her. She worked hard, fought back, and eventually got the green light for surgery.
How doing?
Okay.
Alright, so you lost 54 pounds. So how is your eating habit now?
I measure everything, I weigh everything in ounces, make sure the portions are under control. I have more protein, and now I don't snack at all.
Oh man, that moment must have felt like the sun finally broke through after years of storm clouds. Surgery day arrived and Ashley R. pulled through with flying colors. Everything went smoothly, and now the ball was in her court. She had to heal, recover, and fight to make sure she never fell back into the pit she just crawled out of. But that's easier said than done.
It's been hard trying to walk again, but you gotta walk through the pain. I feel like my stomach's like compressed like this, and when I stand up, it slowly releases. It's just, I guess, baby steps at this point.
Luckily, her husband, bless his heart, stood firm beside her through every step of the recovery. He could have walked away like most people would, but he didn't. And that support, that made a world of difference. But still, no amount of support could fix her inner battle. Even after all that success, Ashley R. still couldn't fully shake her old eating habits. The war wasn't over yet.
In your situation and how you ended up here.
Well, I mean, I've been battling with my weight my entire life, and I had weight loss surgery.
Okay. How's it been for you since the surgery?
I feel like I'm disappointed in myself and my body and the way that I'm recovering, because before my surgery, I was exercising and I was so energetic.
You can feel the dry sorrow in Angela's story. She barely speaks, but everything about her screams shame. Her body has gotten so big that it doesn't even move like a human body anymore. And the shame? It's just sitting there on her face like a mask. But even with all that pain, even when her body is begging her to stop, Angela still eats. Somehow, she always finds time for that.
But now I'm mostly housebound because it's becoming harder to walk. My legs constantly hurt. So my daughter Desiree helps me. Desiree!
Angela knows the food is killing her. She calls it poison. She admits it, but she still can't stop. She's still reaching for it. And the worst part? Her entire family is complicit. Her brothers, her child, her husband. They keep handing her the very thing she says is ruining her life. And then they all fight about it like they don't already know how this ends. What kind of love is this?
Monster, something non-human. So I shower almost every day. Shower is exhausting. Washing in between my skin folds is hard.
The trip to see Dr. Now hasn't even started, and it's already chaos. Arguments, stress, emotional outbursts. It's like Angela's life combusts at the mere idea of accountability. But somehow, through the fighting and the whining, they actually make it to Houston. Barely. You'd think just reaching the clinic would be a win, but with Angela, nothing's ever that easy. The war hasn't even begun, and everyone's already exhausted.
I stayed with my parents because she was in school. I kind of shut down. I was depressed. I dealt with the food and I just kept gaining.
Angela swears the weight will come off if she just starts moving more, but Dr. Now hits her with the truth bomb. Eating less is the only thing that matters. It's not about walking around your house, it's about not stuffing your face 24/7. And still, she doesn't get it. She's clinging to fantasy like it's a life raft. Delusion is Angela's favorite comfort food.
Where I gotta go?
No, it's your point of your attitude. You've had an attitude since we left home, and you can go back home and I have my brother come here. Believe that.
Angela lies with confidence. She says skinny people eat more than her, says she barely eats anything, but the camera doesn't lie, and neither does the scale. She's over 600 pounds and somehow thinks she eats like a bird. That's not just denial, that's full-blown fantasy, and it tells you everything you need to know about how far Angela is willing to go to avoid facing herself.
Because I don't think that I am. I eat at bad times. I don't eat during the morning and afternoon because I drink coffee, which suppresses my appetite.
Angela's been given the easiest rule in the world. Drop 50 pounds in a month. That's it. Dr. Now isn't asking for a miracle, just progress. And Angela swears she can do it. Her family nods along like backup singers in a delusion band. But when it's time to follow through, that's when the music stops. So what does she actually do? You already know the answer.
Mutual benefit, because your daughter's is also some weight problem, huh? So she brings you unhealthy food, she can eat it too. Yeah. All right.
She eats the same food as me, so I'm worried. I tell her all the time, when you get to this age, it's harder to lose weight and you're a lot more.
Dr. Now is fed up. Angela's been dodging the program, dodging the scale, dodging the truth. So now he makes it real simple. She'll weigh in at a local clinic in 2 months. That gives her time. But what does Angela do with time? She wastes it. She makes excuses. She hides. For someone who claims she wants to live, she spends an awful lot of time running from the one thing that could save her.
Be careful on the onion ring.
Oh, it's so hot.
Oh yeah, you're gonna burn your mouth.
Ah, hot. He had me convinced that he was just a great guy.
Angela is back and mad, but not at herself. No, she's mad at Dr. Now because he's not buying her performance. She's pissed off that he won't just rubber stamp her for surgery. So what does she do? She argues. She lashes out. She picks a fight with the one person trying to help her. Classic Angela, always ready to fight everyone except the real problem, her own habits.
I'm ready to do this.
I'm from the show me state, so you have to show me better than you can tell me anyways. I think it's gonna be a good new start for both of us in another chapter.
Angela tries to come for Dr. Now. She questions his judgment, his approach, even his math, but Dr. Now doesn't blink. He claps right back, questions her ability to even count calories, let alone follow a diet. It's a full-on verbal beatdown, and in that moment, Angela learns something the hard way. Dr. Now isn't just tough, he's petty too, and he's not here to coddle anybody.
Dr. Now gave me a bigger weight loss goal on my last call with him that he wanted me to hit, which I think was just punishment from him for missing my appointment.
So now it's round 2. Another goal, another deadline, another chance to stop the cycle. But this is Angela we're talking about. Will she finally get serious? Or will she twist Dr. Now's words again and pretend she heard something else? Her track record speaks for itself, and let's be real. Expecting Angela to follow through is like expecting junk food to be healthy. It never ends well.
Dr. Now, let him know what your weight was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Angie, how you doing?
I'm all right.
All right, so, did you check your weight?
She failed again, and now it's time to face the consequences. Angela walks into that clinic knowing she didn't do what was asked, but hoping, somehow, that Dr. Now might go easy on her. He doesn't, and why would he? She wasted everyone's time. You can see her shrinking in that chair, not from weight loss, but from shame. But even now, you know she's still not ready to change.
Across and all the way down. That's enough to get your walker through.
Okay. Great. It's perfect. Home.
Dr. Now lets loose. No filter, no mercy. He calls out every lie, every excuse, every manipulation. And Angela, she's silent. Nothing to say, because deep down, she knows. This wasn't about metabolism, or mobility, or support systems. This was about her being one of the most stubborn, self-sabotaging patients he's ever had. And at this point, even she can't pretend otherwise.
We've been in Houston for almost a month, and me and Justin are going to my next appointment with Dr. Now. And I'm looking forward to showing him I'm still doing well. And I've been staying on the diet, so I know I lost a lot. So his accusations towards me have been completely unfair.
Gina's reality is revolting. There's no polite way to frame it. The stench coming off her body is so unbearable, her own family has to haul her to the bathroom like she's contaminated waste. That's the level she's sunk to. Completely dependent, completely degraded, and still completely unwilling to stop eating. Even as her skin rots under the crushing load of her own body, she's shoveling in more food. No shame, no limits. Just a relentless, compulsive drive to feed the addiction killing her from the inside out.
Can't do it, and then I just get mad. If I don't make a change now, I'm scared it's gonna be too late.
Now Gina claims she's ready for change, ready to drop the weight, ready for surgery. But anyone can say those words. You can sit in a car and cry about your future all you want. It doesn't mean you'll actually fight for it. Dr. Now isn't impressed by tears. He's not handing out surgery like consolation prizes. He wants evidence, measurable effort, real progress, not just watery eyes and dramatic declarations. If Gina's serious, she's going to have to prove it in pounds, not promises.
But without running water, I have to use a bucket and a loofah sponge that has a stick to reach all the areas of my body that I need. But it's so hard, it's a lot for me to do, and it's really a painful experience, so I just can't do it for long. So when it gets too much for me, I just have to stop and go back to my chair.
Gina swears this is it, her last lifeline before she drowns completely. But Dr. Now has heard it all before. Every patient swears it's the last chance. Almost all of them end up lying, to him and to themselves. Because the truth is, this isn't about what you say when someone's watching. It's about what you do alone when the cravings hit at midnight. Will she stick to the plan, or will she end up back in bed, hiding snacks under her own folds of flesh?
I honestly don't see how I'm gonna be able to give this up, especially when moments like these when food is making all the difference. We only been on the road for a little over 4 hours. I told Beth we just have to stop for the night. I'm just hurting too much, and I just need to go give my body a break.
Gina plays the part well at first, nods, smiles, says she's motivated, says she's ready to crush the diet. Dr. Now gives her a fair target, 50 to 60 pounds in 2 months, totally achievable. But seasoned viewers know this routine. The yes doctor act fades the second the takeout menu comes out. For someone like Gina, the real collapse likely started before she even made it home from the clinic. Words are cheap. Willpower? That's the rare currency.
How much it hurts or how scary and hard this is, I have to make it to Houston. Me and Beth are finally in Houston. I push myself to go at least 4 to 5 hours a day so we can make it by today and in time for my appointment with Dr. Now.
This is disappointing. It's 2 months later, and Gina didn't just miss the goal, she reversed it. She's gained weight. She had the blueprint for survival and used it to dig herself deeper. This isn't a simple slip-up. This is deliberate self-destruction. To gain at this stage, you have to work at it in all the wrong ways. Was it an immediate binge? A slow daily sabotage? Doesn't matter. The end result screams the same thing. She didn't even attempt to change.
I'm gonna get weight loss surgery, but one of his requirements for his program was that me and Beth would have to move to Houston for a year. So shortly after my sister's wedding, I decided I want to go ahead and...
Now the defense begins. A stream of incoherent excuses and half-baked emotional spins, as if talking in circles could distract from the obvious failure. But Dr. Now isn't here for bedtime stories. He slices straight through the fog. This wasn't bad luck. This wasn't mysterious. It was a choice, plain and simple. Gina knows it, and that's why she can't meet his gaze. She's not baffled, she's exposed, and deep down, she's terrified because the act isn't working anymore.
But in some ways, it's gonna be really good because it's gonna give me a chance to discover more of who I am, not being in a house with 4 other people. We need a bed.
Well, I don't know what you expect me to do tonight.
Gina starts nodding, trying to look like she's just had some deep soul-shaking epiphany. But Dr. Now's seen it all before. It's theater. Pretend you've learned your lesson. Get another shot. And she does. Another 2 months. Another 50 pounds to lose. Another escape hatch. But all the opportunity in the world means nothing if you're just going to choke on it. Until Gina proves she's willing to suffer for change, all she's doing is burning daylight.
And the stress of everything, I worked really hard to lose weight. So I'm feeling good about the progress I should see today.
The grand reveal, just 5 pounds. Imagine that. That's not transformation. That's a bad weekend water fluctuation. This wasn't a fight for her life. It was a lazy drift toward the grave. Dr. Now threw her a rope and she used it to lower herself slightly slower into oblivion. 5 pounds in months isn't grit. It's a mockery of the process. The message couldn't be clearer. Gina is just marking time until her body gives out.
That was harder than I thought it would be, but I think it was good. And I'm ready to work on things like Lola wants us to do. Because I want to get healthy and lose the weight. And I want me and Beth to have a good, healthy relationship.
Gina keeps insisting she's doing everything right. Eating clean, staying disciplined, following every step. But the scale tells the real story, and the numbers aren't in her corner. You can't out-talk the truth. What those numbers say is that Gina hasn't put in the work, not remotely. This isn't bad luck. This is willful sabotage. She's not just one of the most challenging patients Dr. Now's seen. She's a contender for the worst. Entitled, delusional, and burning everyone's time while pretending to save her own life.
Nice. Ooh. Do you want to put the sheets on and stuff?
Yeah, I think we should.
I'm ready for the new me and the life me and Beth can have if I'm able to lose the weight.